Today we came to the Cambridge Museum of Glass. They have an amazing collection and it has been curated fantastically. It is definitely worth the $6 entry fee. You get a guided, narrated tour of the history of the glass, the history of the company, lots of the different names of the colors, the patterns, the pieces, the styles that they were made in. I'm not even going to go into all of that. It is amazing to see the just a whole case of one color, such as this ebony, is gorgeous altogether. Of course, some of my favorites are their opaques. My absolute favorite is the jade color. To see this much together in one place is beautiful. They go through in order the different colors that they make, different styles, the barware, the etches, the processing of the etches and the wheel cutting, some of the things that worked well for them that they made for many years, some things like the Rubina that they made for a shorter period of time. Beautiful pieces. Things I've never seen before in person, such as these mannequin heads that were made for department stores. Some of the figural frogs are amazing. Look at this one made in jade. I want you guys to come and see this yourself because the amount of information that they give you here is phenomenal. Here's some of the perfumes, some other patterns that they tried throughout the years. They call this color Peach Blow, which, as you know, as we cross over into other glass companies, in Fenton, Peach Blow is that pink with the white on the outside. So again, we have the companies that use the same or similar words or names for their colors, and that is also one of the reasons why they get confused from company to company. Just beautiful glass. These cases in here are some barware, specifically this back case, and some of they're examples and or experimental pieces. Pieces that you're not going to see that came into the production, either patterns, colors, shapes, designs, styles. And here are a few of the things that you will not see reproduced because these bottom two shelves, all the molds for those were scrapped for the efforts for World War II. And then these shelves are fun because they have the pieces that were listed in the Sears and Roebuck catalog, has their prices when they were originally listed and what they would be equal to today in 2024. Kind of a fun little social experiment. They made tons of clear glass, all sorts of mix and match sets. This display was from a department store. It's called the Architectural Table, and you could mix and match these pieces to make all different displays and different configurations for your centerpiece. Same with these candle holders as well. The arms, the vases, the the prisms that hang down from them, or these pieces like this that fit in the top, a figural design for the centerpiece of your candles. Just the amount. It's fascinating. It's wonderful. So amethyst, more tableware and barware. We have, they call this ruby Cameron. They call this ruby Carmen. There are examples of the chemicals that they used and what it looks like in the glass. All their stemware, in the nudes, royal blue or cobalt. The examples of sterling silver that's been applied, the gold leaf that's been applied. They also did etching where they then added like this, which is a cobalt enamel. And they have it in a couple different colors. I think we saw pink and red and the blue. But they just have spectacular examples of these pieces are just not worn. Etched. This is the hand etched. They had their own department for etching. It's really hard to show you guys. But an amazing history. The history of the factory and the family. Heather Bloom. This is the neodymium glass that changes color between sunlight and artificial UV fluorescent lighting. More crystal. Forest green. Rose Point is one of their most popular etches. You can see it really well on the ruby with the gold. And another run of amber. Change out this dining room display every year. This year it has that Heather Bloom color with crystal. Some amazing pieces that I've never seen, especially in that purple Heather Bloom color. And this really cool chair rail with a plate for displaying plates around the room. They say they change it up and it's going to be ebony and crown Tuscan. This is an interesting display where they've taken screenshots out of different movies, TV shows, and show you. Oop, I can't see that one because it's on the glare, but right there in the picture is this perfume bottle. So this was in the Wild Wild West. Let's see, something more recent. There's some FBI, the Raven, the House Sitter, Hawaii 5-0. There's Hawaii 5-0, and there's that funnel right there. Here are some more etches and the Crown Tuscan. Spectacular. Oh, we learned about this point here that goes all the way around as a way for them to mark their glass on the ball pitchers, since they didn't put their a C for Cambridge on everything. And some more swans. Caprice. And a display from a department store. All the different colorways it was produced. Gail's over there shopping. Some more green, ruby, and yellow that they called Mandarin Gold. Melt glass. Moonlight. These were pieces, examples of what they did in their last few years of production, trying to reinvent themselves and stay open, and a little bit more modern since it was in the 50s. These displays, this is an actual picture of their restaurant that was in the factory, similar to a town where they could just spend their tokens and such in the restaurant. This is the engraving table. The gentleman that created it when Cambridge closed took that and created his own company. Example of his desk and some ledgers that they copied off of his actual ledgers. Yes. This is amazing. This is huge. It's about 2.5, 3 feet tall. This blown glass globe. This is an actual barrel that they made in their factory. What was really interesting about the factory is all the different things that they had on site for their workers, from sports teams to the restaurants to their natural gas or their coal, their own coal shop, their own barrel shop. All those things were incorporated and made in the factory itself. So it's all self-contained. So again, we have a lot of variety, and this shows some of the molds that have gone from Cambridge to Fenton, Cambridge to Imperial to Mosser. Some of the molds that then have been produced by other companies over the years, because now those companies own those molds. So it is their glass. It's not being reproduced to Cambridge. It is owned by, for current ownership, such as this one with Mosser. This is now Mosser glass. It originally was owned by Cambridge, but now it is Mosser. And I like this display too, because they take a lot of some of the pieces and show you what they were actually used for, because so many of these pieces were originally produced 100 years ago, and things that we just don't do in our daily lives, such as a specific bowl for grapefruits or a specific plate for lobster, a cheese box container. There's a shrimp cocktail bowl and liner. I mean, we'd use a deviled egg tray. We don't use an asparagus tray anymore, but things like that that show you exactly what they were originally designed to be used as. This is kind of fun because it shows you all the different sizes, or the majority of the sizes of something that was created in same design, different scale. And this display is one piece of all the different colors that are out in the main display room that I've already gone through. So it's something to see a whole display in, say, the azure or the ebony, but to see one of each is also a really great rainbow effect as well. This is a large scale picture of the factory and their grounds. I will try and get a picture of the other one that kind of gives an explanation of all the different rooms that's at the front. Shot of the big, giant factory. Diagram of the factory. Showing you lots of the different areas, what they were used for. Oh, and they had their own hay section too for filling the barrels. I mean, very progressive for having all of this being self-sufficient within a factory. In this room, they also have some more research books and these plates, these engraving plates where you can do rubbings of some of the designs. Like these were the designs that they put around the top of the goblets. You also have a factory or another Cambridge educational video going on. And this is just the process of making the goblets. So if you can see, they blow out the top individually like this, and then they apply the stem, and then they apply the foot, and that's how then they cut off the top of the blown piece, and they're doing different finishing processes in terms of firing it and getting it nice and crisp and ready for the engraving process. And that is the ink, or the wax tissue, where the opposite section, where they do not want it to be etched, has been applied to the goblet. They take off the tissue paper and then they dip it in the acid, and then when it comes out, they remove the rest of the wax area that has been covering up where they wanted to keep it clear crystal, and then you get the etch pattern finished product. There it is on a bowl. Kind of the same pattern in a couple different steps there on the bowl. We even have a little gift shop area where you can buy pieces of Cambridge. They have some more up in the front cases as well. This is a lot of the crystal with different etch patterns available for sale. I picked out a piece right there in that empty spot. This is a little pamphlet that they've copied for the rose point pattern, and it opens up like this. So you can see all the different shapes and sizes of the pieces that the rose point etch was applied to, and then list it on the back. One of the fun things, this is the same stem as these goblets, and they just didn't apply the foot, flared out the top, and made it into a bell. Just like that. I really like this etch. I'll see if I can catch it for you. I thought it looked a little bit like, let's see if we can see it, a spider web. And then I saw, it's called Candlelight. Has a candle right in the middle and all the rays of light coming off of it. It's cardboard boxes. I mean, the last time this company was producing glass was in the 1950s. These boxes have stood the test of time that this glass came out of. The beginning of their presentation. This is the very first piece of Cambridge ever produced. It's a really great process and here's that detail of how they make the dot goblets again. They do a little video. They have a display of like the punty rod display stand. The video shows how this bowl is created. And a little display of, the furnaces and the bench and to the etching tables. And again, there is the more of what's available to purchase. And books. Always go get books. Tons of those available as well.